Ooh. Ooh. All right, here we go. Oh, let's caduce this over. Evening. Pervy, what's up? Yeah, I guess I'll have to. All right, fam. So yeah, we're going to be going through and finishing up the remaining groups right now for predictions, and I know teams got announced. We might actually talk about some of the teams too. There's a few that I definitely want to dive a little bit into because I do think it's very interesting with how some of them played out. But again, I know we've done about, I think, 5 or 6 of the teams so far. So that's absolutely something that we'll be trying to finish those up. May even do some early predictions on KvK ones, or on, I should say, on the KvK one. It's either that or basically wait till Friday at that point. Ooh. Well, that's messed up. I thought we were friends, KvK. Ooh, Rage changed their Discord profile pic. Very interesting. So I think we had this for number 2. Was the one we guessed at. Hi, sweetie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is Gus.
No, Gus.
Gus, Gus.
No, Gus.
Yeah, that's his picture.
No, Gus.
Okay. What is it? You wanna come? Okay.
How far would it go?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. This is
Yeah. Okay. I think we're good. We're good now. No, not that close. Right there, sweetie. Thank you. Let me see. Yeah. Schlock, what's up, man? CWD is recruiting this for 649. Come join us. Oh my gosh, you guys are too funny. Too loose for the goose. What up, baby? Yo, welcome.
No. Oh, baby.
Australia, what's up? Hey guys, being here. AK Mr. King to build. What's up, man?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, kiss.
All right, and then what did we say? We said 21 SW. We like this matchup against RFF. Trove of Riches, 6 years. Oh my gosh. That is interesting. Yeah. So right now we got with what we're looking at currently. So these are just prediction matchups right now that we're looking at. So again, all the teams have been announced. We have what else is it? There's really only the 5 kingdoms that are left right now, right? So we only have what I say in the video today. It was 36 and then 87 for the A's, and then the 3 B's, right? 157, 16, and 218. Right, these are all the teams currently, and then we had matchup predictions that we were doing. So, and I think we ended with CKB RAC that we liked, and then it was, I think, 225.
Hello?
Oh, it was.
Daddy.
So we got to set this up to do a couple more comparisons. So I think we did 225 here, 3, and then 4. We'll go to the team. So we're going to look at 225 versus ED is what we'll take a look at first. And then we're going to plug in a few more, right? And then we'll run our script, and then it'll auto-populate. So I think we wanted 110. We wanted to see what that matchup looked like. 266 already been taken, so we'll do this here, and then we got one more that we'll take a look at here versus LEND. Okay. Awesome. So then we'll go ahead and run it. So again, this is predictions, right? So we do all group. This is matchup predictions. So we're going to run the script. It's going to auto update. It'll populate all the data that we need to take a look at. So it's pretty quick. Australia says, are these your prediction matchups? They are. So these are just my group prediction matchups, just kind of looking at it left to right, just to kind of see how they look. So again, for this one, right, it's 225 that we're taking a look at. We also have to keep in mind that for 225, they are, oh, hang on, let's scroll up a little bit more, right? So we have to remember they're Paragon, regardless of which one we end up going with. We just need to make sure that we have that locked in. So, yeah, perfect. What's up, man? Welcome back. So let's look at this first matchup, which potentially would have them going up against ED. Looks like for this one that I'm taking a look at, let me see here. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. So it looks like for this one, let's see, we got 25. So, I mean, this is super close in power. Wow. PvP activity percentage is great here too as well. This is super close. Let me see. RMP rank is great. 2.25 mil for, I mean, everything looks really good here so far. Let's look across the board. So remember, negative means it's going to the B team because it's going down. Positive means it's going top to the top team, or in this case, the A team. So at 10 million plus for merits, it's 357, 331. So that's in favor of the ED team. Plus 30 at 20 mil, 34. I mean, it's small, but the numbers are decent, right? If we look at 100 mil, 25 isn't bad. 125, I mean, that's basically double. That's kind of rough. This is double. This is times 6. Yeah, I mean, it looks like the 25 IW team in this matchup versus ED would probably have, I mean, the numbers essentially up to this point look good. If there was some variance here, or these were a little bit smaller, yeah, I would probably give the edge out to like decently to the 25 IW team. So I don't know if I'm really feeling that matchup. Let's look at how they would match up maybe against ROG or 110. So very small differential here, right? This is probably going to be the case because most of the teams around this power level are all very close. So it's not as though, oh, you would open this? So they're not too far away. I mean, even the PvP percentage, it's 1.4, right? So it's not really that bad in that case, right? Let's see here. What do we got? Kills, 12 bill. I mean, that's pretty small. Deads. I mean, it is decent. I don't know if I want to argue and say that's sizable. CH25 for average power differential. I mean, that's what? Close to 8.5 mil. I mean, that's something, but I don't think that's necessarily game breaking. These numbers are good, right? 10, 20. Even at the 34, I mean, again, it does increase, but the numbers here at merits, I think, are a little bit better than what they were for the above team matchup. So I do feel better about that. Yes. Huh? I don't have my phone. Mia has my phone. I know. So we look at 100 mil. It's -7, so that goes down. These go down. That's not bad. There's only 13 difference here, which is nice. For 125 at 150, even 200. It's only a 50% difference for 10, and then it's even. This I actually like this matchup more. I think a little bit more the previous one. Like I like. Yes. No, we'll leave those. Thank you though. So. The thing I like is that there's a little bit more average power on the 110 team for here. And then even though they have a little bit more PvP activity, which is on the 25 IW team, yeah, I mean, they do have a little bit more PvP engagement for higher merit counts, along with having at least some bigger accounts kind of in the mid area, which is basically between the 125 and the 200 mil. But yeah, so I think for me, like I think I like the 110 matchup more than I like the ED this ED matchup myself. So I think what I'll probably do is remove this because I like that matchup a little bit more. So yeah, I mean I really do. So let me remove this, because I like this. So let's look at the next. So this is one for me. Australia says, I think 25 IW will more likely face CKB. Okay. Let me see on this one though, right? So we have that. What does they look like against Puzo? Because that would be the next potential one, right, that we could look at. So this is 3.5 bill, a little bit more there. Okay, PvP percentage now going a little bit more in favor, almost 4% there for 25 IW. Average powers in their favor as well here. Now it's more sizable on the deads. All of these, are big numbers. And yeah, that I don't think that would work out either. This looks rough. Even rougher, I think, than the ED matchup. So let's remove that. Oh, that's the card. Yeah. I
No.
see. So if we look at this one here, which would be, yeah, that's me. LEN, the LEND matchup. You're at 4.6. Oh, I see. 4.6 bill. We have 2.75% here on this one for the PvP. But again, that goes in favor of 25 IW. Steeper, average power, it's a little bit rougher. These numbers are obviously going way in favor. So I think based on this, it looks pretty clear to me that I think for me, it's going to be the ROG based on who I have left. I'm going to put them as my guess.
Hello?
So we'll do this. We'll fill. I'm going to grab 110 here and we'll plug them there. And then we're going to delete. We'll do and then we'll do the next matchup.
Hello, guys.
Hi. Hello, is that me? Okay, yeah, because we got that one already set. All right, so let's run our script.
Goodbye.
And then we'll mark off those kingdoms as well. Are you playing or no? What? Oh, okay. I just had to touch it? Lovely. So we got 25 IW, so we're good here. And then also we'll fill here, just so we have a reminder that, again, we already have these groups set. So now the next one we're going to need to match is 17. Oops, let me see, sweetie. Thank you. So now we'll plug 17 here. And then we'll do the same kind of thing we did where we're going to go down the list, right? So now we'll do Puzo, LEN, and maybe 30 NA. And then we'll see how those look.
Jackie, look.
I see. What is it? Oh, so it's 2, 3, and then fourth matchup. So we got to plug the second matchup in here, which is going to be, let's see here, LEN. And then we'll do one more, which will be 30 NA. And we're going to take a look. Again, I think this probably will be a little better of a way to do it overall. I'll even throw WAO in there too. Just why not? Okay, so let's run this. So we're going to let the script run. Let's see how these next 4 matchups against the ED team potentially look, right? So we're good here on them, right? So the first one we're looking at is going to be against Puzo. So what are we at? 3.5. Oh, let me see. Neon, what's up? Let me give you a tip. ED have 1.4 build power with voucher. Interesting. I wonder how that's calculated. I almost wonder if there's a way. I would imagine you could probably pull the stats on that, but that information obviously isn't publicly visible because you're basically pulling, you're pulling private player. Well, more. I would say that to me is maybe more of a kind of a private player data thing. Because I don't know if there is a way to figure that out publicly. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look on that, but that's interesting. If that is accurate. Laura, thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. Or I should say new sub. Thank you so much. Oh, here, did we tie that? Let's tie that. That was good. Thank you. Yeah, I could tell. All right, let's do ED. Okay, so let's look at how the ED Puzo matchup. So 3.51 bill, 2.77, average power. Okay, it's a little bit smaller, but I mean, again, numbers so far kind of going in ED's favor. Really heavily here. It does get a little bit better once you get to 200, but I mean, they got over 100 mil plus power. I mean, that could be a little bit rough. Gavin, what's up, man? Evening. So, yeah, we'll see how that one plays out. Let's look at them going up against LEN. So this is 4.6 bill difference. We're looking at 1.6% for PvP, but that still goes in favor of the ED team. Let's see here. If we're looking at CH for average power, I mean, that's 20 mil at that point. That's still going in favor of ED as well. A lot of these other numbers are heavily. So again, I don't even know about the LEN team. I wonder if there's anyone else. Okay, let's look 30 NA. Maybe this could be a little bit more of a matchup. So 4.86. PvP activity is great. This is a lot closer here. Average power actually goes in favor of 30 NA. That's very interesting here, even though there's about 5 bill more power on their side. Same thing with deads, but this is very small. We're talking 83, 84 mil, right? That's pretty non-existent, I think, at that point. Same thing with the kills, even less with the deads. Okay, so at 10 mil merits or more, that's in favor of ED. But these numbers are really small. Like, this is nice. I like seeing this because they're so close. We got 49, let me see, 21 more 100 mil pluses that are in favor. Actually, I think the 30 NA matchup might be really good so far. Or at least the potential for it to be, I should say. So 21, but then we go 38, 17, 9. Ugh, I mean, this skews pretty heavily. Yes. What is it? Oh, thank you. Yes, thank you, sweetie. I appreciate that. So oh, here, you want to go? Oh, okay. Okay. Yep. So I guess Gavin's like, yo, we're 30 NA. Yeah. I mean, again, you know, there's 5 bill more power, a little bit more heals here. Average player goes the other way. I think it's, yeah. I mean, this one looks like it matches. Oh, here, sweetie, you want to go out? You want to go over?
Yes.
Okay, here, go. Oh, let me see. 1, 2. Oh my gosh, 3. Yeah. Good jump. Okay, go ahead. Okay, so I think on this one now it feels like it's favoring a little bit more 30 NA here. I would argue though that this matchup I think is a little bit closer than the LEN matchup. This one just feels like the numbers are way too skewed in ED's favor. Yeah, even these ones are too as well. Again, the 30 NA is the first one. It's a little bit less. So, I mean, for me, even though this now favors 30 NA, I think the margin that it favors is a little bit less on 30 NA versus the previous two matchups. But let's look at this versus WAO. How would this look? So let's see here. Now we're at about 6 billion more power, right? So just basically more troops available. We got 3.28% PvP, but it's going the other way now. Average player power, this is a little bit less, right? Remember, this is 6.33, 5.51, so it's almost a mil. So that's a little bit, again, that's in favor of WAO. Yeah, I mean, this almost feels maybe a little more steeper in this case. I mean, look at this, big numbers, but it's like here, very small. Even the numbers here, like they're a little bit smaller. These are bigger in that case, right? So it's bigger on 250, 200, right? And again, that's, you know, for the total players there. Yeah, I think if I had to take a stab on this one, I feel like 30 NA is probably the matchup, at least out of these four, because I mean, unless we went down again, right? Unless we went to, okay, here, let's try CC and Wura 380. Let's just, you know, for shites here, let's do these. Okay, so again, we like the LEN matchup, to me, I think the best. So let's do this. We're gonna compare two new matchups if we go a little bit farther down the list. Now let's update these. We'll take a look. Because again, right, there's nothing wrong saying you can't continue going down the list further, right, at this point. So at the moment, we like the ED LEN D matchup, but let's go down a little bit more. I like that more than that 30 NA and WAO matchup. That looked a little rough. Gav says all the powers are so low compared to ED team though. But keep in mind, the power is mainly just troop availability. We've seen, especially with 2 seasons ago, team up, like here, let me give you an example. So this was the last season, right? This was 2 seasons ago, Age of Duality. We have historical referencing here so we can see what the power gaps were from the last time they did a team up phase, right? And you can see here, some of these, look, 4.6 bill was a gap, 5.8, almost 6 bill was a gap that we had there. Let's see, here you go, 8 bill was a gap for, looks like the number 8 or 9 KvK. Let's go a little bit further. What else do we have? 2.9. These are all pretty low. Yeah. So, I mean, you could argue, right, the widest gap 2 seasons ago when they did a team up phase was 8 billion power. So that means that we could probably safely go to about 8 bill. I think that's fair in how wide, right, we're looking. So, and you can see 7.9, 5, 6, right? So we're still well within, right, what was done a couple seasons ago. So let's look at how the Sura matchup looks. So again, 7.6 bill, almost 8 in favor, 2.5%, but this goes the other way in favor of Sura. Okay. Average power, where am I looking? This is awesome, 2.89, right? So super close, but again, a little bit in favor of ED. If we look at the numbers, this actually looks a little better to me, right? So 10 mil merits in favor of ED. The numbers are relatively small-ish, right? Closer to the, who was it? The LEN numbers, right? So we're 26, 15, 6, 9. That's going in favor, however, of the Sura team. Then we look at 100 mil, right? So you're at 77 more players that have 100 mil power on the ED team, but then it starts swinging down. I actually think the Sura matchup now, to me, I like this matchup more. There's a little bit more troop availability on ED. They have a little bit less PvP activity, right? They're ahead in 100 mil power, 10 mil merits, right? So overall PvP engagement, they have a little bit more PvP activity, a little bit more average player power, but then at some of the deeper merit gains and some of the deeper, higher power tier players, it goes a little bit more in favor of Sura. So I think this is the matchup now. I think it's ED Sura. That's my favorite. I think I like that more than this LEN matchup, way more. But now I have to compare and see if I'm gonna like this as much as, oopsies, not that here. Okay, I need to see if I'm gonna like this one. Am I gonna like Sura over CC? So for me, that's the next one we have to look at. So let's look at CC here. So 5.87 bill. PvP activity is a little bit closer, 1.88. We get to average player, right? So Dad's super close, non-existent to me. 20 bill kills, 18, 19, I mean, again, right? They're big numbers, but it's not like a massive wide gap, like if it's 40 or 50 or something to that extent. Then we get 10, right? So this is 10.5 mil average power. This goes in favor of ED. Okay. So we have troop amounts are in favor, a little bit more PvP activity, a little bit more average player power. Let's look at the other numbers. So basically all the merit activity in favor of them as well. There's not a lot of variance or things that are leaning on the other side going CC. So I think at the moment, even when we look at up here, it's still in favor. So I think for me, I like the Sura matchup. I think that's what we're going to go with. Okay. So I like this one. So we'll go boom, 17, and then I'm going to put 30. So that's who I have in the next group. That's who I like. Let's fill these in, and then we'll run it again. We'll let that update, and we'll plug in as well the teams that we selected, again, just so we don't do any overlap. Gavin says the last one had some really bad matchups, though. Oh, yeah. Oh, again, keep in mind, I'm only going off for that portion, Gavin, just what they officially allowed, right? What was the gap in certain areas that they allowed? And that was the largest gap, right? Was 8 bill, basically troop differential at that point. So ED and Sura. So we need to go here and then wherever ED is. What I gotta find. Okay, awesome. So now, given that, the next team is Puzo. So we need to figure out who would be a good matchup for Puzo. We'll start off by doing 4 comparisons as we usually do. So here we'll go, what was it, LEN against to see? So that'll be the first one. Then we'll do 30 NA, WAO. We'll do that, WAO, and then we'll do one more, and we'll do CC. Okay, and then we'll run the script. Let's see how that looks. Australia says, I think LEN-D will face Puzo. Okay. Okay, let's see here. So here's the previous matchup. Let's see how this looks, right? So that would be the first one here. So this is what, 1 bill troop differential, right? That's pretty small. 1.14. That's a very small PvP activity percentage difference. That's not that bad. If we look at average power, right, that goes in favor of the Puzo team. Now we're looking at 13 mil. Okay, I mean, it's something. I don't think it's massive, but it is something. If we look at merit engagement, it's 8, pretty small number. It gets a little bit bigger at 20 mil, but then smaller, 30 mil, 40. This looks really good. Now let's look at some of the other numbers. So if we're looking at 100 mil plus, that's in favor of Puzo, 62 more players there, but the numbers do shrink, right? So you're looking at basically double at 150, and then, you know, they have 4 players at 200 mil. 2 out of those 4 players are above 250. So, yeah, I mean, it is some, right, at that point, which means that the LEN team doesn't have anyone over 200 mil. The Puzo team has 4 people over that. Yeah, I mean, again, the matchup isn't bad. I think this is okay. I think that the Devs would probably be okay with a matchup like this. Let's see if we can find maybe a better one, though. So this would be the Puzo team going up against 30 NA. How does this look? So 1.35, 2.7, so PvP activity goes in their favor. Wow, heavy going in as well. So that'd be a little rough on that. And then all the numbers, yeah, I do not like 30 NA. We are just going to skip that. Because that looks pretty... To me, you know what it looks like? It looks like 30 NA should go up against the WAO team. That's how that looks to me, based on how those numbers look. Like, that looks rough. Okay, so WAO, why do I feel like I'm going to get a little bit of the same thing here? Gosh, yeah, PvP activity is way worse. All those are super negative. So I don't think we're going to do that either. How do they look here against CC? So 2.36 bill, not bad. Oh, wow, this is really good. 0.89% for PvP activity percentage difference. Like, that's really good because it's small. We look at average power for CHP. This is really good, 3.2 mil. Like, that's small. The margin isn't that big. That looks really good. And these numbers relatively look small, but let's look. So 2022, this is going down, and then we're evening out a little bit, 513. This is actually pretty good. Let's look here. So 100 mil power, that goes in favor of the CC team, but then the numbers are getting a little bit smaller here. So now it's 19, but that's still double at 150. You got one more here at 200, and then you're the only team that has 2 people over 250. I'll be honest, I think the CC matchup is actually a lot better. Overall, I think I really like this, actually. Deads are pretty close. I mean, kills, yes, that's decent. Heals aren't too far off, so you know that's good, at least when it comes to sustainable fighting, or at least the potential for it. Very close on Siege 25s. I mean, yeah, I think I like the CC matchup a little bit more than I like the LEN matchup. It just feels like the LEN matchup is a little bit too skewed going in Puzo's favor. So I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to put Puzo going up against CC, this team. I think I like this a little bit more, just based on how those numbers look. So let's plug. We will remove. Let's fill. We'll do this, and then we'll run our script. Awesome. So nice. All right. So we like Puzo CC. We're going to let the script finish so it can fill in. Awesome. There we go. So we got Puzo CC. Let's highlight. And then we'll Puzo here as well. I think we're good. Yeah, we are. Okay. So next team will be LEN. I don't think we're going to put LEN against the 30 NA WAO. So we'll probably end up going a little bit lower on the team than that. So let's go. We'll do VKG, ST. We'll do some of those. I think that would probably be a little bit better of an appropriate matchup at that point than maybe going the other way on that. So let's do ST. We'll take a look there. And then let's do one more team here. BNR, right? So maybe we'll do another. Let's do these for now. So, I mean, again, that's 3 matchups, right, that we're going to be able to take a look at. So that looks pretty good. Okay, so I think we're good there. Let's work our way up for LEN. Okay, cool. So first matchup, this would be them potentially going up against VKG. So we'd be looking at 4.7 bill, but again, favor of LEN. PvP activity, this goes in favor of VKG team. Average power, oh gosh, that's in favor of them too. Even looking at the, I mean, these are big numbers. Most of these are in favor of them. I mean, the only thing that's not is 4.7 bill. I feel like this is a little bit too steep at this point, so I think I'm going to scrap VKG. That just, it looks like it's a little bit too much there. Okay, let's look here at this next matchup, which would be, I think, what is this, ST? Oops, let's scroll one up. There we go. So for this one, we got 5.5 bill. Okay, 1.6%. That goes in favor of the ST team. Average power, that goes in favor of them as well, 20 mil. But let's see, but these numbers are smaller. So this actually is a little bit better. But I mean, that's rough at 100, even 200, right? You have no one over that. Or yeah, I don't think I like this matchup on ST. This just feels a little bit too much there for LEN. So let's look at the next one. This would be against BNR. And if we need to add 1 or 2 more, right, we always can as well. Yeah, Racking, what's up, man? Welcome, welcome. Okay, so for this one, 7 bill diff. We got 0.4% on PvP activity, so it's a little way closer, but slightly in favor of LEN, right? But again, this is maybe looking a little better. Average power, 17.5, so that goes in favor of them. Let's look. So PvP activity, you got 12 more 10 mil merit, 10 mil merit players, 32 more 20 mil. So this is in favor of LEN. But then you got more power. Actually, I think I like this matchup, to be honest. Right, you got 70 more players at 100 mil, 13 more at 150. Right, so I mean, it's decent. PvP activity is close. You got 7 bill more power here. You got a little bit more players that are willing to grind for merits. This is something I actually think is a little bit better. Again, I'm not saying this is golden, but I think this matchup for BNR is better than the other ones so far. Let's maybe look at 1 or 2 more, right? Just to see, just to tickle a bit. So let's see Seal and maybe SSG. Those can be 2 more we do. Let's just see how those look. Okay, let's run. Here we go. Yeah. Wrecking, what's up, man? Yo, my man joining, hopping on the membership train there, or starting us off, I should say. Man, appreciate you joining us for a single, man. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Okay, so we have LEN Seal and SSG, right? So they got to be able to beat the BNR team up potentially here. So let's do that. So LEN versus Seal. 7.5 bill, a little bit more PvP activity percentage now going in their favor. This is rough. I mean, these all basically go in there, and PvP. I don't know if the 7.5 bill troop power, and they got more PvP activity by over 3.5%. Yeah, I don't know. Even though we went down, I don't know about that. I would need to see like maybe the PvP activity number being a little bit closer, maybe the average power. It's just all of these numbers just kind of scream a little bit more in favor. Again, I just don't know if the 7.5 bill is like enough to say, oh, hey, they're going to overcome that. So let's look at SSG. So this is 8 bill differential, except now it's almost 5.5% PvP activity going the other way. All of these numbers, for the most part, going down. And on top of that, there's... yeah. I mean, it's rough to say, but I think the CC matchup so far is probably the best one. Oh, I'm sorry. Not my bad. The BNR. Excuse me. Did I see CC? The BNR. Let me go down one more beyond SSG. Oh, that probably would be rough. When I think about it, I don't know if I like that one. Actually, I might have to go S2AK. Let's see. Let's do an S2AK as well. These will be the last two we take a look at. I just want to see how these compare. Sweet. Australia says, "Is that wrecking?" Yeah. Or you're like, yeah, it's me. That's me, bro. Yeah. Sync, what's up, man? LEND mentioned raw. All right. Australia says, "Now S2AK is fighting D-Gen." Okay. Yeah, let me see. So here's LEN S2AK. This is probably a little bit too steep at 13 bill power, but the numbers are actually a lot better. Yeah. I'll be honest, I would probably take this matchup if I'm being real. I would argue LEN versus S2AK is a better matchup than LEN BNR. But I think the BNR matchup is... Yeah, it's close. I don't know. Maybe I should say the BNR matchup to me is a little bit ahead of the S2AK matchup. Okay. So let's scrap that. And let's look at the last one. So this would be LEN versus potentially NWE. I mean, I don't think so, but I mean, this is interesting. So 10% more PvP activity in their favor. They'd have an almost 11.5 bill lead, but all the numbers way heavy. Yes, that's a no. So let's just put them with BNR. I think we've looked at enough comparisons right now. I like this matchup. So we're going to do that. We'll do LEN, BNR. I think this looks good. As far as the remaining ones that we have to go off of, and then, you know, I'll always be able to take a look and see, you know, how decent my predictions were. Okay, so we're good there. HOA, ED. Okay, so let's run. This is going to be our matchup for 602 and 156. We're going to let this run. We'll cross those out, and then we'll plug in the next ones here right after. Okay, so LEN, BNR. So we got this group in. And then where's LEN? Oh, oops, did I get that? No, I didn't. Okay, so next one's going to be 30 NA. This, I feel like it could be 30 NA WAO. Something about that is just screaming at me right now. Okay, let's do WAO. I want to see how this looks. So there's WAO plugged. Next team, we'll do VKG. ST's below VKG, so we'll plug them. And then we'll do one more. Yeah, let's do Seal. Maybe even NWE, possibly. If we need to. Okay, let's run these. Let's see how these compare. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yo. Panties, what's up, baby? Oh man, I didn't know that was you. Oh man, you should change your name. You should put his Panties Brooke. That's my boy right there. Australia says, can I get access to create a prediction on your sheet? You could create one, just let me know what it is. My man. Okay. So 30 NA against WAO. How does this matchup look? Interesting. Barely any difference. A little bit more PvP activity on the WAO side. We're talking, what, 3.25% at this point? If we're looking at average power, it's a little bit less than 1 mil that we have right now. Some intensity is going on out there. Less than 1 mil average power. We got 27 mil more on PvP merits. So overall engagement, that's a little bit more in favor on the NA side. Then we get, this is a little bit more skewed here, right, on WAO. Maybe WAO should go against NWE. So, yeah, and then we look at power. again, this also goes a little bit more. I mean, this isn't that bad, right? It's really just at 125, 150. 100, it's super close. 200 mil, it's super close, which I think those are probably more of the indicators at that point, right? It doesn't necessarily really matter for the most part. All this means is that there's just more players between 100 and 200, or 125 and 200. So it's not that big, really, of a jump there. This actually could be a little bit closer than I think. Actually, I'm not mad at this matchup, to be honest. This is actually decent. I probably would put this as my #1 option right now. Let's look at the next. So this is 30 NA versus VKG potentially. We're looking at 4.5 bill power. Okay, 3.3%, but that goes in favor of VKG. Let's see, average power, that goes in favor of 30 NA by about 5 mil. These numbers are pretty small, right? 10, but like 20 mil, 30, it's a little bit bigger. But again, these aren't too steep in that, so I'm not paying too much heavy, paying kind of too much or giving that too much value, if you will, kind of one way or the other. Just because I like the fact that like the 10 mil, the 40, and the 50s are pretty close, right? It just means that they had more players in the middle of the group, right, fight a bit more. So I mean, it is something. Then let's look at 100 mil. So we got 32 players one side, 200 is getting a little bit smaller. Now it's 18, 5-4, right? So this is a little bit more, though, I think, in favor of 30 NA. Well, no, actually, I shouldn't say that. I mean, they have a little bit more power, a little bit more stronger players, but actually, maybe this matchup is a little bit closer than I think, really. Because you have about 4.5 bill more troop power. PvP activity goes in VKG's favor. Average player is about 5 mil stronger on 30 NA side, but the VKG side has more players, right, hitting higher merit numbers, right? So that typically gives us a kind of, you know, how much contribution, PvP engagement are we going to get from the player base? And that says a little bit more on the VKG side, even though the 30 NA side has a little bit more power. So this matchup, I actually don't hate, to be honest. I mean, deads are close, kills, heals are close. Kills are way more, but I mean, deads are great. No, actually, no, they're not great. Wow, they definitely favor the WAO side a little bit more here. Absolutely. Maybe actually, part of me is thinking, you guys will let me know, man. Do you like the WAO going up against 30 NA or VKG more? Part of me feels like I'm leaning a little bit more VKG on this one. So yeah, I don't know. The WAO one just feels like it's a little bit too much. Part of me feels like the VKG matchup is a lot closer. So I'm just going to remove that. I think I'm going to put VKG closer for me initially. So let's put them as the new #1 option. Let's look at how 30 NA matches up against ST now. So Gavin says, I don't like that matchup. I'll take VKG. Okay. Here, 5.2 bill. Oh, somebody has my phone. Okay. Wow. Really nice on the PvP activity. Super close. 6 mil here on average power. So that's pretty close, right? That's not anything too massive. 200 mil deads. Okay, so we're willing to fight it out in bastions a little bit more here on 30 NA. I mean, this is decent. 37 bill kills, almost 35 bill heals. I mean, that's a decent number. Let's look here at merit. So more engagement on 30 NA side, way more bigger numbers here power-wise as well. Yeah, I don't think I like the ST matchup. So let's scrap the ST matchup here. I think it's a little bit too big. Let's see this one. This actually looks like it could be a maybe, I don't know. Let's see, 7.5 bill, 30 NA, but 2% PvP going Seal's way. Average power 15 mil, that goes 30 NA's way. These numbers are a lot closer. So these aren't bad. This is kind of a little back and forth. But you got 67 more 100 mils, 20 more, yeah, part of me feels like it's too much. Like I'd want to see some more stat numbers a little bit closer to Seal, for Seal's side, to feel better about that. Because again, I like this VKG matchup so far. I'm going to put this as my number 1 right now. What if I go past seal? What if we go SSG? Right, because this is 30 NA, them, they're filled. Let's try this. So that's 30 NA. What was that, SSG? Let's try NWE. And then maybe let's do STK. I mean, just to throw it in there, right? Just to see, because we're already here. Okay. Let's let the script run. Let's take a look. Brooke says, try 30 NA DK. What does it depends? I think I have DK already selected. Yeah, we're basically almost near the bottom. I already have DK with someone. I think I do. Where's DK? Did I miss them? Ooh. Oh, I can't. DK doesn't have a team right now. So that's why. Because they were still solo. Unfortunately. Okay. So 30 NA VKG again. This is the one we like the most so far. Yeah, no, they don't. Yeah, there was 5 kingdoms. I was saying that in the beginning of the stream. There was 5 kingdoms left over. It was 16, 218, 157, and then 87. So DK is probably going to get paired with 36 at the moment. And I can even, I can even double check. I can load up my 87 account as well. Let's let that load up. But yeah, basically they were left because FSK was solo. There was 5 kingdoms left over, essentially, once the phase finished. So there really wasn't, again, an opportunity. They're going to have to wait till the group, until the groups are announced at Brink of War, and then they'll get populated in. Because I'm looking at them right now. I just loaded up their kingdom. They're solo right now. Like, they made a team, but it's just them by themselves. Yeah. So, Gavin says, does it always match Paragon with Paragon? It could. It could. I mean, I think there's a likely chance that will happen, very much. But it's not always guaranteed. So that's mainly just for the team ups, just for the teams themselves. So, you know, you don't end up getting, like, again, like what was it? Last season, not last season, 2 seasons ago? Right? They had 3 Paragons at that point. So, you know, you didn't really, it'd be hard to sell that now. I think the smart move for them was actually expanding the amount of Paragon kingdoms that they have from 3 to 8, even though, you know, it was a shadow change. I think it's very much welcomed, so that way you don't end up having, you know, like the number 1 team and the number 4 team as an example, right? Because that was something that could happen 2 seasons ago. Now it could only be the number 1 team and the number 9 team, right? In the best case. So that obviously helps a lot more in that regard. Okay, let's look 30 NA SSG. So is that better than the VKG matchup? Let's see. So now we're at about 8 bill difference, 3.7 PvP. This goes in favor of SSG. Okay, but this is better. Average power is a little bit more in 30 NA's favor, so that's actually not bad. More 10 mil merits, but now this is definitely way more skewed on the SSG side. Let's look at power. So 100 mil, that's 91 in favor, 39 in favor. This actually isn't that bad, to be honest. I mean, you do have, again, more PvP activity. You got more players, right, willing to hit higher merits. But you got almost 8 bill more troops. You got a little bit better average power on account. Right, you break even at 300 mil if you're 30 NA. This SSG matchup to me actually isn't that bad, to be honest. So, I mean, you got more power. Yeah. I mean, I think I still like the VKG matchup a little bit more here. Yeah. I don't know. Part of me feels like I could sell this as being somewhat close. Okay, let's look at NWE. How does this look? So now we're at almost, I don't know if it's going to be that high, right? 11 bill. So you're talking 11 bill more power NA. This is 8 point. I mean, yeah, that's nuts going the other way. Average power is super close. More PvP peeps. A little bit more power, obviously, because we could see that reflected. This actually would be such an interesting test case to do NWE. Yeah. Excuse me. Gavin says, yeah, now they just need to make it so it's all A's and all B's. Yeah. I mean, again, that's kind of how I feel. Would be a little bit nicer to see. Brooks says it's going to be AB versus AB, AB versus AB. Yeah. No, it will. Hey, sweetie.
Your phone is down to 38%.
Oh, it's okay. Thank you.
I feel like I need it in the morning.
That's all right. Thank you, sweetie. Let's see. Gavin says, yeah, but it would just be AA versus AA, and the BB matchups would be a lot easier to make for most part. I mean, I think so. Yeah. So I think for me on this one, again, I think, again, this is rough, man, because again, the SSG matchup isn't that bad to me. 7, PP leans that way. Yeah. I do, man. Part of me almost feels like I like this SSG matchup more than the VKG matchup to me. Tim, what's up, man? Welcome, welcome. But let's look at the next one. So that was 30 NA S2AK. That was another one that we had we could look at. So this is 13. Bill, I mean, that might be a little too steep. PvP activity is a lot closer, but yeah, the numbers are way too in favored, I think, of 30 NA, so that's probably not going to work. So I think realistically, right, it's probably not going to be NW either. I mean, that'd be interesting. I just don't think so. I think this is more likely. I think it's VKG, SSG is more. Yeah. I mean, part of me feels like that if the devs had to choose between this, they probably would go more VKG at that point. Yeah. Yeah, but this is way. Yeah, look at INFT. Gavin says they're ruining the average. Yeah, Danny, what's up, man? Welcome. They also need more classes. The power difference in classes are pretty wild from lowest to highest. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that could also be another solution. Right, I think Doom mentioned that at one point, which is right. It's either you add in more class tiers or grades, or right, you go with something like the option I presented, which is like just do A's and B's and C's all together. At that point, SSG WG on nod, have too many players. Yeah, Doom says, we ever figure out the leftover team? Doom, we did. So it's not a team yet, which is right. So it's so we know 36 and 87 are probably going to be teamed up together because those are the 2 remaining A's. However, there's 3 B's left, so it's 157, 16, and 218. So 2 out of 3 of these are going to get put with FSK and DK, most likely in this case. Yeah. So I think what I'll do, just to throw something out there, I'll say 30 NA is going to go up against VKG. I think this is a little bit. Again, I could make an argument for both, but let's just say VKG. I'll go with that if I have to call it somewhat of a guttish feeling at that point. So let's do that. I don't know if I have to overly run this. Let me just double check. Yeah. Deuces do build new S-Class and limited to only same letter. I mean, yeah, man. That could work. I could see that. Absolutely. Okay, so we didn't find out the Bs. No. Gavin says, yeah, BCD, yeah. I mean, I think you could get away with an S tier. I think you add S tier, you add E. I think you add 2 more class grades, and that helps out more at the top. And then you maybe do that, right, where you only allow them to work with. I think that could be something. And then stop putting the B with ACT. So I like 30 NA VKG. Let's lock that in. Okay, there's only a few left here. So now we got to do WAO. This should be interesting. So we'll do 1 matchup, 2 matchup, 3 matchup, 4 matchup. So we could do, let's start with ST. And then we'll go Seal, right? I just want to make sure I'm looking at my stuff here. Yep. So we'll go Seal, SSG, NWE. Let's do that. So here's SSG. And then NWE. Awesome. All right. Let's take a look and see how those matchups look. Yeah. Khaled, what's up? SSG versus 30 NA and NW versus VKG. Okay. Deuce's top 12 kingdoms S tier. It could work, yeah. Brooks says the only close matchup for SSG, I think, is NWE. Okay. Yeah, we'll take a look. So we got them set. So here's the first one. I think ST. Yeah. 6s or just remove gens. Yeah. Removing gens won't do anything. More options for pools, but if the classifications are like 15 build different, what is the point? Yeah. I mean, yeah, the margins for the classification power or just, let's just say PvP windows for strength, I think are just too wide right now. And they just need to be smaller. So here's WAO ST. This one. We're looking at 4.5 build diff, 3.3%. But this, again, oh, right, these go in favor of WAO. Average player power, 5 mil. I mean, it's smaller. I mean, this is a lot of deads. I mean, that's nuts right there that you're seeing, right? I mean, geez, that's almost double the amount of deads. 70 bill on kills is nuts. Yeah. I don't know if I like this, the ST matchup here. This looks rough. I think I'm gonna hold off on that one. All right, let's look WAO Seal. Let's see here. So 6 bill more. Excuse me, this is in favor of WAO. 1.2, so a little bit more here. Average power is them. Remember, negative numbers are the B team, positive numbers are the A team. I mean, this is pretty rough too, geez. Oh, Betsy. Yeah, I don't know if I like this matchup either. So let's look. Yeah, this is rough, man. Oh, this one might be better. Slightly. 7. Very close PvP activity. Average power is 14 mil. I mean, it's decent. Numbers are decent. I mean, this actually it gets better at the higher tiers. That maybe could be a little bit of a saving grace. But the numbers still favor WAO even in this one. Okay, let me look WAO. Let me look at this one. Supposed to be 10 bill more power WAO. 5.2% on activity goes to NWE. Yeah, I mean, this is just rough. I mean, it's 44 bill more kills. 607 mil. I mean, it's like 75, 80%. This is nice, though. This is small, 2.3. And these numbers aren't bad, right? You're looking at 30, 40, 50 mil kind of goes in their favor. 100 mil is, I mean, it's decent. 200 mil is a little bit better, 17. But that's still 3 times the amount. This is rough, right? You got 14 more players at 250 mil. I mean, that's decent. But maybe you outvalue, right? Not outvalue, but maybe you provide an appropriate level of value to the PvP activity numbers and the merit engagement numbers, and average power is super close, even though they have 10 bill more troops. This, I think, I mean, you could make an argument this could be the fairest matchup. I just don't know how I feel about the SSG. It feels like this is still like decently favored. I mean, yeah. I mean, maybe it's not that awful when you look at the 200, 250, and 300, right? These numbers are a lot closer on the higher end. And PvP activity is about the same. Average power goes a little bit more in favor of them. I mean, you're looking at what, almost 33% more deads? That's nuts. 66 billion more kills. Yeah. Who else is left? Yeah, these just get worse. All right. It's almost as though the WAO team, like, they'd have to go against someone else, and we'd have to put someone else to swap. Yeah. Because, I mean, that just looks rough. Yeah. Doob says, who did you predict for 110? I don't know. Who did we predict for 110? Let me scroll up. Oh, here we go. I predicted you guys going up against 25 IW. That was my prediction. Six says, did you look at 602, 203, 256, 647? Probably did. Red, what's up, man? WAO versus 30 NA. Yeah. We already gave, I think, 30 NA a matchup. Fry, what's up, Fry? We already gave RAC a matchup too. So remember, I'm plugging based on remaining teams. So, I mean, the best remaining teams at this point, it would either be WAO against SSG or WAO NWE. Yeah. I mean, I think the SSG matchup is more likely to happen based on the power difference versus NWE at that point. So, yeah. So I think what I'll do is I'll just put them with SSG, because I think based on our remaining teams to choose from, that, I mean, is probably the most likely. I mean, again, I still think NWE is close. So let's do that. Cool. All right, let's run it. Yeah. Velsum says ST NWE. Oh, I'll have to look. I'm not sure if I put them there. I'll have to see. So I'm gonna put WAO SSG. So they're set. ST Seal, let's do SSG. I think ST is the next one. Yeah. So now we need to find a matchup for ST. So it's 1 matchup, 2, 3, 4. Let's do Seal. We'll do 341. Oh, wow. So these will be the last ones I can do anyways. Okay. Let's run this. Let's take a look. And we're basically coming kind of, you know, down to the end, down to the wire at this point. Bacus is not going to find a team for WO lower than what they are. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they very well could be. Okay. So for ST, let's look at the Seal matchup. Excuse me. So a little bit more power, a little bit more PvP going in favor of Seal. Average power not isn't bad, only 9 mil. That goes in favor of ST. Oh, this matchup actually isn't bad. So Seal takes a little bit early, very close here on 30, 40, 50 mil participation. 100 mil, it's only 3, 200. I mean, dude, I think I'm sold. Oh my gosh, like this looks really good for ST Seal. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I have them going against W. I think that's a little bit too probably skewed there. Oh, this isn't bad either. Oh no, yeah, the 7-6 I think is a little rough. That's good. Those numbers are good. But we would need to see, well, there's more power numbers going in favor from 125 on to S2AK. I mean, maybe that could be something there, though it is a little over 7.5 bill more troops available on the ST side. I guess it would be a matter of, is S2AK or Seal, right, the better matchup? I think, given these are the ones that are left, I think I also need to consider NWE, because there's NWE S2AK, that's 2, 3, 4. And then you also have to consider, well, if ST goes against Seal, is Seal or S2AK a better matchup for NWE? Right? Yeah. Yeah. Part of me feels like maybe I need to put them against S2AK because... Yeah. Let's do that, so I can see how the other one looks. Yeah, I think that's probably the way to go. Yeah. I mean, unless we did S2AK versus NWA, I just don't know about that. I'd rather the other team have a little bit more power. Yeah. So let's do S2AK versus ST. I think that'll be the one we go with instead of Seal. And then what we can do is I can do this. So ST Seal. which means I can do NWE S2AK. All right, there we go. I mean, that's basically all the teams there. So yeah, that's it. And then NWE. Oh, oopsies. Why do I have S2AK twice? I think we meant Seal. Yep, there we go. Because that would not work trying to put them up against them twice. Okay, here we go. So there we go, man. Basically, until we know what the last team is going to be, there's 2 teams remaining, essentially. But we'll have to wait till the group stage on Friday to figure that out. So this would be it. This would be the last matchup. Yeah. I mean, it's not awful, but I do think that this matchup is favored on the NWE side. It just so happens this is the last one. So, okay. Well, there we go, man. That's all groups. All group predictions / matchup predictions are done. So we'll be able to do a video on this tomorrow that I can release. That should be fun. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, man. I mean that took a while, but I'm very much happy we were able to jam that out and get through everything there. So, because again, our KvK teams video we put out today, I think that video is actually doing really good right now. So I'll do matchup predictions. I'll probably release that video tomorrow. Yeah. Garavels says it's very hard to make a prediction without adding the FSK team. I think their total power is around 43, 44.3. Yeah. No, and this thing, you're absolutely right. The fact is that there are 2 remaining teams, and those 2 teams very well could have helped us around the lower middle power range for the team pool. And that could have made some of the matchups a little bit better, and then would have allowed for some of the lower matchups to also then in turn become better as well, where maybe the differentials are not as wide. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. I mean, we're I think some of the top matchups are a little bit more set because there's just more options, obviously, at that point to choose from. But I think once we kind of get to like the lower middle, then yeah, it feels like some of the differentials and stats are a bit more skewed, I guess, / wider or larger. So no, I absolutely can see that being the case. I mean, again, we are down 2 teams that we can't plug into anything because they weren't formed right before matchmaking phase started. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry, I forgot I got my phone over here. I go sit back. Yeah, man, the next couple of days here are supposed to be really nice too. I think it's gonna be 74, 78. Geez, 81 on Friday. Nuts. But then obviously thunderstorms starting Saturday. I mean, that's lovely. Well, all right, fam. I think we're pretty good on everything so far. I think I'll probably finish up a little early today. However, before I do, let me tell you, Friday evening is when, let me show you this because this is super important. Friday evening is when the groups are going to get announced. This is Brink of War, right? So when this phase starts, which is now a little bit less than 3 days, that's going to be at reset, I think 7 p.m. Eastern time on Friday here in 3 days. I will be streaming again. That's going to be the big one, right? So I'll try and get on Friday if I can, a little earlier if possible, at least before reset, so we can load everything in. Again, I think that will probably be the next massively exciting day, probably arguably the most, aside from classification grades and the team up phase starting, because that's usually like the second biggest day, at least during team up seasons. But I think once the groups are announced, people get to see who's fighting who. And then on top of that, which kingdoms got placed in which zones, right? So who's going to fight zone 2 early? Who's going to wait to have an opportunity to fight zone 3? I think that is really where it's going to be an exciting day. So man, be ready for Friday. I'm pretty excited. And like I said, we'll be streaming again, whether it's right at reset or a little bit before. Reset right now is the plan. And of course, if you guys would like to get access to the public sheet, remember, this is the public sheet right now. There's, again, still people viewing it. You guys can get a link to that by just joining the Discord. And I don't know if I have a spare link at the moment. Let me see if I may. Let me see here. Stats. But yeah, if you guys are interested, again, you can join the Discord for that. I'll throw the link as well in chat in case anyone would like to take a look, and you're more than welcome to share that with whoever you like. But if you do want to be able to access it on or find it on the Discord, or even just join to support on there, there's a pinned post on the live chat to join the Discord, and then you just have to go to the CallofDragons sections and then to the COD Data Stats page. Valley, what's up, man? Welcome. To be honest, while of course it's still relevant, I am not sure if main account stats show the full capability of a server anymore. I've recently started thinking that KvKs are one with the capacity a server has to build defense with farm shells rather than open field PvP. That's interesting. I might have to think more on that and to see if maybe that might do better as kind of a solo video to talk about, and or maybe even asking, you know, some of the war leads / some of the management personnel in some of the kingdoms to see if that might be a shared belief as well. But yeah, man, I appreciate you dropping a little droplet there of an intriguing thought experiment. Absolutely. And appreciate you coming in for a bit as well, unless you just ended up typing for the first time. But yes, that is going to be it for me, fam. Again, I'll leave you to it. As always, man, thank you guys so much. I know a little bit shorter on the stream today, just only a couple things to kind of finish up so we can settle. And again, I hope you guys have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you might be. Always appreciate the love and the support. So thank you all so much. And like I said, we will be catching you guys back Friday for the big, massive stream. And I'll probably do a big ping out for that one too as well. And hopefully plenty of prep the morning of. That's it for me. As always, until next time, we will catch you guys later. Take care.